let's do this. We've got our Saturday footage. Kind of sort of back on track with that. VJJ. That's a good moniker. Maybe I should just change the stream to that. Probably attract more listeners. Right. Let's do it. Oh, all right. We see David back on the mats. Awesome. So we got him working with, this is Danny? Yeah. Glad to see him back. Got Mike and Jason there. Jason on a good double leg. Sitting Mike to his butt. Just gotta cut the angle, get around him though. What's David doing? David coming out, catching Danny a little off balance, maybe? I hope his knee's feeling better. And Andre, damn, what a good Saturday. Jordan and Amy over there in the corner. All right. Danny looks to elevate David, but David kind of backs off, gets out of a double underhook situation. Yeah, man, we're going early. I'm just going to keep surprising you guys. I hope David doesn't let Danny stand up here. Because he was leaving a lot of space for Danny to kind of hit an easy, like, technical stand up or something. But it looks like he's tied up those legs and is at least keeping him down. Yeah, thank you, Jordan. Yeah, you could say that. What happened with Jason and Mike? All right, so Jason goes mount into the armbar. Mike taps early on that one before the arm gets extended. Meanwhile, Andre looking for the north-south strangle on Cooper here. Like he's slowly kind of working his way down the body to get under the chin. Mike looking to invert with James. Yeah, I was curious to see who would show up to this with the time change. I imagine I'm right in the middle of some people's dinner times or something. Totally, man. Problem is, it's not my kid's bedtime. Well, actually, all day is his bedtime, and then his activity schedule is very late. What's Danny do here? Looks like maybe a straight arm variation. I think David's got a bad left shoulder, so okay. See an early tap there. Danny with a nice armbar to reverse triangle entry. I mean, I know that you know how to swim, so I'm not taking the heat for that one. You could swim for miles with no training. Let's see this again. So, thought he was pulling the armbar here. David gets the arm out. Okay, that's what it is. Yeah, so now if Danny wants to hit a triangle on this, yeah, you would have had to go underneath a little earlier. Now he's got the legs, his legs opened up. A transition to a leg attack may be beneficial. So it looks like David takes the opportunity to get back out of his guard, out of Danny's guard. Yeah. Danny working to the triangle now. And looking good. Yeah, there we go. How did Cooper get here? Cooper looking to... okay, he gets there trying to... looks like he tried to sit in on Andre's right leg. But Andre's big old ham hocks are a little bit harder to manipulate than Cooper anticipated. So now they're in this not quite a 50-50 battle. If Andre gets this leg across the chest, then we're 50-50. Right now he's got good heel exposure and an outside Ashi. Heel placement's a little sus, but it was enough to get it, right? So we're down in the crook of the elbow. This is an easy spot to slip out if you're willing to hang out there and fight against it. That's why you want to see more of the wrist behind the heel. But Cooper feels caught. He taps early. Mike on an Achilles grip here, looking to turn the corner. And this is actually a good spot for a straight ankle. James gets free. What's up, Andrew? Wow, thanks for the invite to the pool, guys. Appreciate it. Just here stuck inside doing a stream, but okay. I definitely don't want to be outside at the pool. Got Andrew and Mike. Mike in basically the longest arm drag ever. He's got the arm across the body. He's kind of worked his way behind the tricep. Turns it into a nice sweep. Gets to his grip. He's got that tricep. There he goes, 2-on-1. Yeah, and Andrew, you're being smart here by not trying to knee cut. Like, you're not in a good spot to knee cut, just the way Mike had you framed up. And then Mike makes good use of that left leg of his. Pulls Andrew over. Andrew doesn't have a base, so he gets put down, but gets right back up. Very nice. Mike with the head on the outside, using it to push Andrew over as he goes in on the double leg. One day I'll get back to the old schedule. People always say that really unhelpful advice of sleep when the baby sleeps. It's like, nah, man, I'm gonna stream. Carlos and Andre over there. Should be a fun stand-up battle. Carlos 2-on-1 on that wrist into a nice single leg. Gets the finish. It's cool. So he's 2-on-1. Reaches in. Kind of a ankle pick, a little high up on the calf. Gets a single leg. Stands up. Head on the outside. He's not concerned about the guillotine right now. Gets the pickup. And puts Andre down past his guard. But it looks like Andre might be able to sneak his knee in. I think he's got it in here. Little side guard set up on the left side. Yeah. So it looks cool. Could just be kind of tiring, right? That takes some energy to do. So we'll see how Carlos responds. Gets caught standing square. That was a good reaction from Andre to go double Kouchi and chase that down. And then Carlos working for that 4-point position really well. Andre tries to hit a quick go behind, but doesn't have control over that arm and gets blocked. So now we're going to settle into maybe a close guard, maybe a half guard here. Looks like Andre settles for a half guard. If I could, oh my God, if I could do that, I would do that. That kid could sleep through anything, apparently. Mike gets... What does Mike get here? Looks like a Kimura, maybe? Or a wrist lock? Because it doesn't look like a Kimura now. It looks like maybe he had the wrist pinned or something. Unless, I don't know. Is that an Americana or a wrist lock or something, Andrew? Thank you. Thank you, Jordan. I might have a lot more free time on my hands if I take that advice. And not in a good way. So Carlos gets... Oh, okay, that's what it was. He looked for... I thought Andre maybe ran the pipe here. But I think Carlos looks for the sacrifice. Because he's kind of hopping back. He's got this overhook here. But Andre's able to stay squared up and based in front of him. That makes a quick transition to mount. That was really nice to avoid getting put over with that sacrifice throw. Exactly. Mike with trying to chase down, looks like a single leg here, like he's finished a single leg at least, and then is looking to get by. What does he do? Kind of gets inverted here. Okay, maybe working a cutback single from a kneeling position, crowding in behind Andrew's legs. Andrew with a frame on the hip. Mike battling his way past. Good escape from Carlos out the back. Being in Andre's mount is pretty miserable if I remember correctly. Andre now on a leg attack. Can't really see how they're... Okay. End of the round. It's a little concerned for Carlos's leg there, but maybe it wasn't in a terrible spot. What in the world is going on over there? Damn, almost changed something together there. Danny's spinning out. Carlos ready for it. But Carlos leaves the arm behind. Let's see if Danny can make do with this. He's got a shoulder crunch. Gets it right in the mount. Coop working from, almost to an armbar. But Jordan gets squared up with him. And Coop wasting no time, snapping down, trying to get back to a more dominant position. Not sure what his plan was there. Jordan with the sweep. Some heavy shoulder pressure, making it very difficult for Cooper to work an escape. Is that Cole over there? Oh, yeah. Just wondering who Mike was talking trash to. Oh, James just about skips by Andre's guard. But Andre does a good job staying squared up to him. Framing effectively and getting his knees in. No problem inverting. He stands back up. Is that Sophie and David, I think, over there too? Okay. Danny getting leg isolation. Let's go back and see that entrance here in a second. Most of it on... Yeah. I fully believe that. So look, really like this reaction from Danny as Carlos goes on this like guillotine front headlock grip, right? Just locks up, maybe a chin strap grip. Danny's got this tight waist. Carlos is over Danny. Danny's kind of on top of his own legs. He can't stand up here. He can't really work a forward technique, right? Some wrestling sort of thing to like work through him or even cut to an angle. So what does he do? He takes him backwards instead and gives Carlos a reason to put his hands on the mat, right? He doesn't want to face plant, so Danny pulls him back. Carlos hits the mat, and Danny's able to transition to the legs from here, or at least starts working in transition. He's got the an Arimiashi set up, looking for heel exposure, control over the foot. Carlos quickly addresses it by standing. Coop is about to get Jordan swept. Sensing it. Jordan's waiting for the moment. He's got that control over his head. Just about. I mean, basically a sweep. Not quite Jordan's patented sweep. Yeah, bro. Different time. I'm getting it in where I can. It was close. I think Cooper's starting to adjust. Sensing your patterns. Sophie on the north-south. Let's see how she got here. David was on top a second ago. Damn, okay, so he was on the back. He goes for the armbar transition. Here. Sophie's in some trouble. Back up to her knees and is able to extract the arm. Okay. Dude, every time someone spells it with a C, I just chuckled inside to myself. You know no one's gonna spell it with a K now, right? Ooh, got him, Andrew. Andrew just about to get on the back. Let's see if he can dig this out. Yeah, he does. Nice, man. Danny getting acrobatic here at the end. Again, looking for that entrance to the reverse triangle. James, let's see. We're going to go back a little bit. See past his guard now. You get past, move to north-south. Yeah, he just couldn't keep his knees in. Kind of wore him down, it looks like. A good 4 minutes of abdominal work. Tire anybody out, so... Smart move to try to stay in north-south or like at least bias towards that direction. Just about, I mean, he gets his knee in, but he can't quite deal with your pressure from there. I like the TP. Kind of put some downward pressure. You're going for it, man. That was nice. That was really nice. Okay, bye, Caleb. Love you. You said it's gonna do so many sit-ups. It's right, man. Yeah, those sneeze guards only work for people of a certain height. Caleb's over them. Gets all those droplets right on your kale. Jordan, you're okay. I was gonna say you have a leg opportunity here, but Andrew is addressing the threat with a counterattack on your legs. Good scrambling from Andrew. Nice arm drag to the back from Andre. Just kind of grinds through it, right? It's not super fast. He gets it. He gets behind the arm. Doesn't let any space open up once he gets that connection and is able to get behind David. David's looking fresh though, man. He's coming in. He's had a little time off and was moving pretty briskly there. Now Andre's just got the better of the exchange. Mike working on his body lock passing. And Cooper trying to establish a close guard. It's going to be really hard for him to get that foot out. Oh, guess not. All right, see you later, Andrew. Thanks for tuning in, bud. Enjoy the pool. Not seeing much movement here. There we go. Jordan settling into north-south position now. Sophie looks like she's trying to get Danny's back. What's she do here? Okay, kind of breaking him down with that roll. But Danny keeps the knees close to the chest, doesn't really let her establish a good, solid hook. Danny maybe just pulled the old, oh wait, my back. I'm losing position, better fake an injury. I'm just kidding, he gives it back. Just got the power half Nelson here, breaks him down, hooks in. They're talking. Mike onto an armbar. He gets here from the dorsal Kimura position. So Cooper turning up. Mike attacking that topside arm. But he's going to take the back here in a second. I don't know where that other leg is. If it's... Okay, so he sits to like... Yeah, it's all... I don't know. I wish I could see his right leg a little bit better because he's got to sneak it under Cooper's arm at this point. Or no, it's over his shoulder. Okay. Now Cooper moving back to a more perpendicular position, so Mike switches to the armbar instead of an entrance on the back. Jordan trying to get to a north-south strangle, I assume. Instead, opts for a mount attempt, but fails miserably. Straight back on David's back over there. The body triangle. For a second, now he's just got the long hook. Switches up to a modified mount. Seeing if he could go back to the back with a chair sit, maybe, but David's doing everything he can to make this difficult. And Andre also looking to switch from the back attack into the armbar, but runs out of time. Mike's setting up that really slow arm drag again. He had that 2-on-1 grip. Nice steady work. Pulls that tricep and elbow right by his center line and gets the back exposure he wanted. Now he's got this cross body ride. Looks very uncomfortable. David's pretty torqued up here. Mike goes for the twister. Looks to pass the arm over the head. Yeah, I think David probably taps out here. Yeah, he was torqued up pretty good. Single leg from Carlos. Digging it out on James. Andrew just about gets behind Coop. Scoops that leg. He's got to be careful there, though. Kind of coming right into a guard with a closed guard with his head caught. See Mike entering the legs here. Gets the sweep and goes lower body. But switches back up. Okay. I like what David's doing though. He's posted up to an elbow with this this kind of odd half guard position. He's got both legs trapped, like both ankles trapped. Yeah, the problem I'm seeing with that, it looks interesting at a glance, but I think once David realizes he has both legs caught up here, right? Where's yeah, that's both of Mike's feet are right in here. I think he kind of commits to this a little too much, and now in order to hold on to both of those legs, he's got to keep his knees pinched together, his ankles kind of crossed. That's going to limit his ability to come up to his knees and start winning that hip height battle and the head height battle. So he's kind of caught himself here with that. Whereas let that other leg go, right? Especially if you have this knee tap. Like, you can come up on this. You got a good tight waist position. This doesn't need to be here. I would say focus on straddling with your knees that near leg, Mike's left leg in this case. Get your hips up, get your knees to the ground, and start to get to work maybe on the knee tap double. Mike's going to whizzer down. So a knee tap's a good option, right? You're just kind of screwing yourself by sticking to that tight leg position you got here. Is that David Carlos? That's got to be coming up, I take it. I hope. Anyway, I lost my spot. There's the twister. Okay. There we go. Looking forward to that. Jordan, don't overextend yourself, man. You're going to half-ass a bunch of things. You're going to, work, watch Vijay, and watch the master. You're going to try-ass 3 things instead of whole-assing 1 thing. Mike in a good position here. I can't tell if he's going for a submission or if he's just using this for control. But he's got essentially an anaconda. It's a weird. This is one of those spots where you don't know whether to call it a Darce or an anaconda, because like I would say if Dave's elbow was across Mike's center line, it's an obvious Darce. But now it's almost like it's like this side-on north-south Katagatame. But he knows he has something. He's sticking to it. That's nice. Oh my god. Maybe a year ago now, I rewatched Ace Ventura, the first one, and it holds up. I don't know if anybody younger than me would find it funny, like the younger generations would, but it was good. It was a time, man. Andrew working to Mount now. Let's see how Cooper handles this, because Andrew and Mount is not fun. Not somewhere you want to stay too long. Knee bar on Carlos over there. Yeah, like baiting him to come forward so you could drop in on that inside Ashi, or cross Ashi rather. Nice off bounce. That was good, James. A little cross shoulder. Knock him onto his butt. Scoop that leg up with the quickness. Wow, Andrew onto the
huge honor for me.
Gets it. Oh, thank you, Jordan. Thank you for the resub, man. With as spotty as I've been with the streams, I appreciate the resub. And yeah, the first one was definitely the better of the two. Although the second one was good. Oh, Sophie almost comes up with the arm drag from seated. Mike looking to dance, but nobody wants to. I like this leg entanglement here that Sophie's got. Nice. James trying to snap Cooper's shin. Sophie's got herself to a nice armbar threat here. Yeah. Andre with the throw. Nice. Looking over here under the clock. Danny just about hits the go behind, or like a kind of a duck under, like shucks the arm by. But now their heads are about level. Andre comes back up, really commits to this Uchimata, it looks like. Is able to get Danny's leg up and over. And does not get re-rolled as they hit the ground, which is very good. It's the worst part about an Uchimata is when you get rolled out of it. Carlos trying to maybe jump past Mike's guard here. There we go, a little limp arm out. Doesn't want to get caught in Mike's overhook. You know, it's funny to see Carlos do that. So this kind of running up over the body, I feel like this is a forgotten escape sometimes. So not in the way we're seeing it used right now. Like Mike doesn't really have too much. He's got this like 2-on-1 grip. He's trying to kick Carlos over. But there's also like when you are caught in an Achilles lock and you go to stand up and your foot's flat, a perfectly viable escape that I don't think you see much anymore is running forward out of it. Like just running over their head, like you're driving over them. If you think about the way the foot bends as you step forward, it kind of lends itself well to that escape rather than, you know, trying to pull the leg back or twisting the leg out. If you just plant your foot and step forward, you can kind of run out of a straight ankle. In this case, you just run out of whatever sweep Mike was trying to do. But that grip keeps working well for Mike, or at least he's finding it, and people are starting to have to adjust to it. But it got him the tight waist here. Carlos looking to block the hip. He actually successfully gets Mike back down. Trying to dig out this single leg here. Damn. Mike on the anaconda. Really nice anaconda. Didn't realize he had this. So Mike's got a closed grip here. And is able to get the turn. Keeps the turn. Blocks the elbow with the leg. Yeah, that was nice, man. I didn't see him setting that up. Meanwhile, David past Jordan's guard. Selling in chest to chest. Jordan keeping that arm pinned. At least he was. Anticipating the turn here. But David addresses it quickly. It steps over and a mount. James looking to get to mount as well. Just about there, but Cooper's turned up on the side now. All right, nice round. David and Jordan rolling through. Looks like Jordan's taking a breather here. Not really addressing the closed guard. Gonna want to stand out of that, bud. Not much going on. Let's zoom forward. Okay. James and Andrew. Ooh, James on a nice... I'm surprised he didn't get the heel there, man. Sits, pulls in, gets the leg isolated with the heel. Looks like you were kind of merciful on that. Oh, okay. That makes sense because it looked like you had it and then immediately let it go. So, which that's one of those times of training where you're like, I feel good about it. Oh, it was okay. Nice. That was really solid. We went over that. I think when I taught a class during half guard week, and this is a really good use of that scoop grip on the leg, where you can't, you either you don't realize you could step out, or like your opponent has that leg. If you don't have this wedge here hooking that, it's so much harder to deal with this, right? You have to get your knee free, then your ankle free, but you scoop this grip, and all of a sudden you can start to expand that space between their knees a bit more, and very quickly you can find yourself in a spot where you can just step out of this. If you're not going to like turn the corner, go to cross ashi, which it doesn't appear that you're even thinking about it right now, just because your hips are on the ground. This leg is kind of flat along the ground, your left leg. So it looks like your intention is to pass the guard here. And as soon as you realize you can, you hit a nice back step, and you can't really follow it quickly enough, and you scoot him up on his side or on his back and settle in. I think we rightly so emphasize getting the underhook and getting chest to chest with our opponent when we're in top half guard. But, we just saw James do there is a really great alternative to that. Maybe you can't win that underhook battle. Getting the scoop grip, which is essentially an underhook on the leg, is another great alternative route you can take to passing the guard from top half guard. Jordan hit a smother. All right, yeah, really driving forward. Very nice. Andrew trying to go the other direction there, but James settling into north-south. Okay, looks like you go north-south strangle here. You got 15 seconds left. I thought it looked like you were under the chin there, but maybe not. All right, James and Sophie. She gets an underhook. You put some wizard pressure on. She's trying to cut the angle. She's got this like reverse collar tie on you. Yeah, I mean, she's kind of in a vulnerable spot here for, trips, Hargoshis, whatever. She gets out here and, I mean, is able to collapse you down on that one side. Everybody going out of frame. It's Danny and Jordan. I don't know if they're working something or positional sparring or... James threatens the back take. Sophie hides her back on the mat and is looking to attack. Okay. Got you. Ah, here we go. David and Carlos. David looks slide by. Carlos answers back. I think Carlos can sense he's got a guy with some wrestling experience on his hands, so he's stoked. David goes single leg, but gets turned down. Let me look at this again. It's a big reach on that single. And David settles into closed guard now. Mike looking steady, dealing with Andrew's leg attacks. God, I wish I could zoom in and see what Cooper's texting right now. Y'all got to be careful bringing your phones into class, standing in front of the camera like this. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, checking his dark web browser. Looks like Mike has gotten past the guard finally. That was nice. So Carlos looks for the big pickup there, but then just uses it as a go behind. Okay, let's look at this. He goes single leg, head outside, and then as he transitions to double, he ends up just using it as an opportunity to get behind David. And look at this setup. Look at the run he goes into. This is like freestyle wrestling stuff. I love this, man. If I wish that there were 5-point throws in wrestling, or in jiu-jitsu. But notice, it would be one thing if if Carlos just closed distance, like walked in and then tried to hoist David up. That's really energy intensive. Instead, this quick run to the side where he kind of flanks David on the left side, that will pull David towards him, and then it's easier for Carlos to lift him up. Like, you can go watch any good collegiate level or Olympic level freestyle match, and you'll see stuff like this where you hit the run, the pickup. Even I would say this is even like maybe even Greco style, because he's not attacking the legs per se, but gets him up, puts him back down. Really beautiful setup. David not wasting any time on the ground though. David answers with his own. What did Mike do here? So Mike makes his way to the armbar. Nice. Andrew is just about to make some progress here. It looks like he's about to pull the arm out, but he gets taken off balance. Gets his arm extended. It's a good cross-facing leg from Mike to secure that. Yeah, James, that was a fun round from Carlos and David. A couple high amplitude pickups. How to bully a bully. A little wall work here. James trying to get behind the leg. I feel like this could go either way still. So much potential for both of them to just hit a really nice takedown. There it is. Wondered who was going to pull the trigger. So David gets that overhook. Dude, that's a tough spot, man. So, you know, we're in the last round right now. So, you know, there's a little bit of thinking, a little bit of, you know, coming up on an empty gas tank. But yeah, I know how you feel. You see the opportunities when you're watching the tape, but I feel like 90% of the time, man, it's just like you find yourself in a spot like that. It's like, just throw something and see what shakes out of it. Mike rearranging his position, leaving his arm behind though. Sophie onto the armbar. Let's see if she could break the script. Moving to nice. Get that crossface leg back in. I want that right leg over the face. She almost has a 3/4 armbar here. I wouldn't be surprised if Mike is almost trying to give her the opportunity to get it back before going on to the escape. That was good. That's maybe a month and a half ago now. She and I were talking about different leg configurations with the armbar. So it's good to see her playing around with not just the standard one leg over the body, one leg over the head. Now she's back to something, but okay, she goes up to, maybe she felt like she didn't have the armbar, so maybe looking for a mounted triangle. What happened? Bicep slicer. Almost had a black belt snap my shit in half. Yeah. Bicep slicers suck, man. Was she kind of pulling one off there? Was that what she was doing? It's funny. That's a technique I like really sleep on, just because eventually I feel like people stop tapping to them. They just like eat the pain instead of tapping. But yeah, it looks like you're right. That may have been something she was playing with. Which Mike isn't gonna tap to. What does James get here though? By my head. Onto the Darce. Okay. Taking his time, getting that grip set up, and nice little hybrid, almost mount, almost leg catch, right in the middle of it. Sophie now in a mounted triangle opportunity. Maybe a lat armbar? Yeah, it gets to the lat armbar. Okay. Hell yeah. What sucks about bicep slicers too is when you get caught in them, it's because you're defending your grip like this, and then as soon as you get caught, you can't let it go and extend your arm. So like, all right, now you're gonna keep your arm there, and you're gonna pay for it. James looking for the back take, maybe? Taking that leg over the shoulder for a rear triangle threat, but David not letting him get there. Little electric chair action from Sophie. That 10th planet coming out. Looks like cool story. Damn, David got twisted again. So look in here. Got the crossbody. There's a slip under the arm. David's got to be secretly pissed that that happened to him twice. Here's the thing. If this isn't working, yes, exactly. Come up. Just come up. That's good. I'm glad she did that. Why would they call it that, Jordan? I don't get the joke. Be funnier. Oh, David now. Oh, just about gets some revenge. Head and arm. But he'll have to settle for being twistered twice. Yeah. Nice, nice. Cool. I'm glad I got to do another Sunday stream. Good to be back. And glad we got to go over yesterday's footage. Okay. Good job. Good one, Jordan. Thank you for tuning in earlier than usual. I really appreciate it. Glad you guys got to catch the stream and not just watch the replay. But thank you. I think I'm gonna try to make it to the open mat tomorrow, so I may not be there for the earlier classes, but hopefully I can get some rolls in with you guys. Keep going. What else? I think we move on to back week tomorrow. So yesterday was the end of mount. Now we're moving on to the back. One of my favorite 2-week sprints. So that'll be good for everybody, I think, to brush up on those techniques. As always, anything you saw here, bring it up to class if you got questions. If you want to go over things further, want to talk through some stuff, whatever, we're always good for it. I don't know what the competitive schedule is looking like these days, but we'll have to dig into that and see if anybody wants to compete, get you guys prepped for it. And yeah, I think that's about it. So you know the deal. Follow if you're liking what you're seeing. Subscribe as well if you want to support us. Subscribe at YouTube, where we'll post this for you to review in perpetuity. And yeah, I think that's about it today. So go trim your nails and do your laundry, and don't be stinky. And I'll see you back on the mats. Take it easy, guys.